Welcome, all of my beautiful people out there, to the Kilo 7X show. Today, I put together some inspirational clips about relationships, and it doesn't matter if you're married or divorced or single or you're in a beautiful relationship. I put something in here to help anyone out. That's part of the Kilo 7X community. I appreciate everyone for looking at my videos from start to finish and banging that like button. I really appreciate it. We support each other. Please put your links, in my comments, I definitely support everyone who support this channel. That's how we do it, Kilo 7X forever. But like I was saying, as far as like relationships, you get out of it what you put in 90% of the times. But we have to make sure that we with the right partner for the right reasons. I know we all get infatuated and things of that nature. But when you're picking a partner, you have to make sure, that the compatibility is there. That override everything else. But please, look at all these clips. I put these together just for you out there, And please check out my other shows I did on toxic relationships. And, thank you for supporting this channel. So we're about to get into the first clip. Definitely appreciate everyone out there, for supporting this channel. If there's anything that you need, you can always hit me up on Instagram or just leave a comment below. And we out of here, Kilo 7X forever, baby.
Soul and a restless heart. I hope you find the courage to choose yourself.
Your moral code, right? As these red flags on the surface may seem like no biggie, but beneath what is seen is an iceberg ready to sink your Titanic in due time. Avoid disaster altogether, just pick another route, a different person. Trust me. When in the beginnings of dating somebody, always make a mental note of the red flags. Now, no one is perfect, so you will notice red flags here and there, and that's a given. But take special care not to neglect the red flags regarding character traits that go against your moral code, right? As these red flags on the surface may seem like no biggie, but beneath what is...
Yes. Yo,
right?
that was you. Come on now.
Yes.
Keep dropping gems. Drop a gem every
Right? So, and I had to learn to give it over to the higher power.
Yeah, the higher power.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's become my chasing. I had to stop chasing people's love. I had to stop chasing
feeling.
Baby, I had to stop chasing the feeling.
Y'all naming everything.
Okay, I had to stop chasing the
pop,
feeling.
pop, pop.
I had to stop chasing acknowledgement.
Yes. Yo,
Right?
that was you.
What a woman wants. Because for a man to understand what his girlfriend / fiance / wife wants is like understanding the Instagram algorithm. The moment he feels he has understood it, there is always something new to understand.
Don't mean I'm gonna marry you. You will not impress him with your looks. Your looks will get him to look, but afterwards he'll look the other way. Because as good as you think you look, there's another lady that looks just as good as you, if not better. Have you ever noticed that there are men who will marry a woman that looks less good because the true beauty in who she is the fact that she challenges him to be a better person? You see, there's not
evolution. When the human race developed, nature wanted to create something to ensure that our species wouldn't become extinct. Thus, human beings were born with reproductive organs and thought processes to communicate our feelings toward one another. As nature continued to adapt, humans eventually developed the feeling we now call love. This allowed us to bond with one another and form intimate relationships. However, when we fall in love, we tend to fall in love with somebody who wouldn't normally be considered compatible with us. Although we may see them as someone who makes all of our dreams come true, they also have the capability to do the opposite. But why would nature intend for us to fall in love with someone so incompatible? Typically, we fall in love with people because their personality traits are opposite to ours. This allows us to fit together like pieces of a puzzle. This person's good traits compensate for our bad ones, and vice versa. And when you fit these two puzzle pieces together, it creates a new piece. A piece that the puzzle could never be complete without. A piece of nature more resilient and more likely to survive and ensure the continuation of the human species. When we look back on it, we often wonder how we could have fallen in love with somebody who was so different from ourselves. But nature intended for us to fall in love, and it made sure we would, by having our brains release what we call feel-good hormones, including oxytocin, phenylethylamine, serotonin, and dopamine. These hormones give aid to a biochemical process that rids us of stressors and fills us with infatuation. This is why it's so hard for us to recognize our partner's flaws. These hormones hide our flaws and encourage us to do whatever we can to keep the romance alive. While we aren't actually lying to our partners, we're wearing a mask of adoration. Taking off this mask and revealing who we really are may influence our partner to leave, so we keep it on. Knowing this, in order to avoid any major confrontations or confusion with your partner, you can work on bringing up somewhat difficult topics with them, such as whether or not you both want children or wish to be married. Although this infatuation stage makes it seem like everything is fine and peachy, it inevitably wears off. At this point in time, you may look at your partner and realize out of nowhere that they're the most incompatible person to yourself that you could ever think of. This tends to happen when either of you begin movies or read about in novels. This makes it easy for us to assume that our relationships can never be perfect unless they're identical to the ones we've seen portrayed. This stage causes a lot of tension and pain between partners due to the fact that the peachy keen love you once had has disintegrated before your eyes. We sometimes replace these missing emotions with anger, which leads to more problems in itself. We stop focusing on what used to make our partners seem so perfect, and we begin to recognize only what makes them seem almost repulsive to us. When couples go through this stage in their relationship, one of them will usually become withdrawn. They feel betrayed because their partner has turned into a completely different person from the one they originally fell in love with. When one partner does this, the other will pursue them by demanding attention, all the while feeling afraid of being emotionally abandoned. While this stage is usually very difficult for most couples, it also presents the chance to look into yourself and reestablish your independence in the relationship. Sometimes this stage takes a toll on people, and they begin thinking that all of their effort was just a waste, and it would take too much work to rebuild what they once had. This is when couples tend to split apart in order to search for somebody who they think would be more suitable for them. This is also why most divorces happen during this stage. 3. The stability stage. If you and your partner learn to confront each other respectively about your issues and recognize your own issues as well, you move on to this stage. After getting through the bumps in the road, you and your partner fall into a deeper and more thrilling love than ever before. Although you may have wanted to at first, you now realize that you cannot change your partner, and you have no wish to try anymore. You see them for everything that they are, the good and the bad, and you're willing to accept it. Although experiences and maintaining the feeling of adventure in their relationship. 4. The commitment stage. When it comes to relationships, people often associate commitment with marriage, even though that's not typically what this stage is supposed to represent. However, while many couples make the mistake of marrying while still in the romance stage of their relationship, this is the stage in which you and your partner are actually ready for marriage. When you and your partner reach this stage, you have both realized that you don't need each other. You both want each other. You've recognized that you both have faults and neither of you are perfect. But even though you recognize these shortcomings, you still desire to be with each other, and you both fall into an endless wave of balanced, adventurous freedom. With that said, many people trick themselves into believing that since they've gotten this far and it feels so good, that their work as a team must be done. Often they also tend to sacrifice their own goals in life to spend more time with their significant other instead, or they become lazy in maintaining their emotional connection. The truth is, Both of you are growing and evolving, so your work as a couple is never done. You will always have to rediscover each other. 5. The bliss stage. Once you've reached this stage, you and your partner become consciously aware of your love for each other, and you decide to move out into the world to show it. And as nature gave you life and the ability to create such a blissful experience together, it now calls on you to give back. Lots of couples decide to give back to society by donating to charities, raising children, volunteering in their community, or starting a family business. But remember, if you and your partner have been together for a long time, you must be sure to continue nurturing your relationships so problems don't arise. Although relationships can be tough sometimes, it's important to learn how to handle things effectively. Falling in love isn't when you begin to recognize the stages in your relationship, it becomes easier to deal with them properly. Remember that it's natural to lose certain feelings for people at times, and not everything lasts forever, but that doesn't mean you have to regret it. All in all, putting in the time and effort to nurture your relationship will pay off in unimaginable ways. What do you think?
Ways to transform your relationships. 1. Acceptance. Accept someone for who they are, not who you need them to be. Your happiness is your responsibility, not theirs. 2.
Thank you, my beautiful people out there, for tuning in to the Kilo 7X Forever show. I hope these clips I put together can inspire you, that can help you in dating. If you're single or if you're in a relationship, it can help you bring more happiness to your relationships. So please subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and leave me a comment. And look at all of my archives on relationships. And we out of here.